is not as bad as you think. This is coming from Philippians 3, verse 15 through 17. And in verse 15, it says, "Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal even this unto you." Now, what Paul is saying here is, look, by faith, we're not only sons and daughters of God, we're going to get out of those situations. We're going to learn from those situations. We're going to march on that road of perfection. And he says, therefore, you are, as many as think this, you are perfect by faith. Don't listen to everyone. There's going to be a lot of people that want to squander the power of God. The power of God is not in the flesh and what they can see. The power of God is in faith. It says, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall ask this mountain or the sycamore tree to be plucked up by the roots and to be removed from hence. You have to understand that. If you have faith to continue to move forward, God could give you all the life, all the years of the world. But if you don't have faith to try again, if you don't have faith to continue to apply yourself in whatsoever it be, maybe it's in your marriage, maybe it's in financial situations and trying to get out of it, maybe it's in your schooling, maybe it's in a business. If you don't have the faith in order to continue to apply yourself, then you're losing sight of what really matters. And that's what Paul says. He says, God shall even reveal even this unto you, because he has to show you, I haven't left. I'm still here. But I don't see God. Where is God in this picture? All I see is everyone looking down upon me. Where's God? Well, God is in the fact that you have life. God is in the fact that when you said, well, where am I? Where do I find myself? I'm lost. What step do I take next? You came to this video, or you were led to this video, or maybe you were led to the word of God. Maybe you're led to go back to church. Maybe your spouse is saying, let's get back into church. Let's gain sight of what really matters. It's not about the business. It's not about the friends. It's not about the family. It's not about the people. It's not about the situation, but it's all about God. And if he framed this world, you don't think he could get us out of any problem that the world will throw at us? Come on, follow me. In 16, it says, nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example. Okay, so now you're not only considering yourself perfect in the sense of faith, because you understand that Jesus Christ didn't die for you to murmur and moan and say, I'll never be perfect. He died that you could, again, have life and have it more abundantly. So now you're looking at life and you're saying, it's really not as bad as I thought. I have life. I got my wife, my family. I got God. So now we're still the light of the world. Now follow me with this. When you go through something, a situation, a problem, a conflict of any sort, big or small, the devil wants you to lose sight that you are the light of this world. Now, in the Word of God, it speaks about having the light of life. The light of life is basically understanding that there is a green side to every situation, even in the worst. Joseph, when he was in prison, he said, you know what? Things could be worse. God still granted him favor, although he was in a very bad place. Same thing when his brothers betrayed him. Speaking of Joseph, he was in the pit. But again, someone came. He could have died in that pit. He could have died of starvation, of thirst, right? But we say, well, he was sold for so much pieces of silver. And then his brothers, he didn't have his mom or his dad. But the thing is, he could have died in the pit. So it's not as bad as you think. You have to remind yourself that if I'm in God, there must be a reason I'm going through this. Don't ask God why. Don't question God, right? We want to remind ourselves again of Job. We don't want to ask ourselves, why did you make me this way? Why don't you just kill me? You know what? Why don't I just give up? Why don't I just go back to the people of the world? Well, the reason is because God has a greater purpose for you. And if you give up, it's not because God gave up on you. It's because you didn't have the faith to continue in faith. God doesn't frown when you try something. When you try a new job, when you try at a marriage, when you try to apply yourself. But don't leave off God in whatever you do. Put 110% in everything that you do. That you could say, you know what? I tried. But one thing that you should never try in, you just have to become, is a child in God. God bless.